What is up, everybody? This is Matt, your host of the Jammies, and we got another great one lined up for you today. We are talking about so many different albums that came out recently, a whole bunch of EPs, albums, good music coming through, as well as a couple of saucy singles and 4 brand new artists to talk about, deep diving into artists like Who Ate All The Crayons, Sons of Habit, the Brungas, Jonny West. We have so much good stuff to talk about. I can't wait for you guys to hear the episode. So buckle up. Let's get ready for episode 12 of The Jammies. What is up, everybody, and welcome into episode number 12 of The Jammies. This is your host, Matt, and we got a great show as we always do. We're rocking 12 episodes in about 12 months, so really doing great. My goal was to hit 12 episodes this year. We are going to get to probably 14, possibly even 15. More on that in a little bit. A whole bunch of artists have dropped new music, as well as just some great new finds. Really excited to dive into all of that, as always. Let's get into a little bit of housekeeping. Make sure to follow the show if you haven't already. Following the show allows you to be notified when the new episodes drop. They come out once monthly, so this one in particular is going to be releasing on October 31st. This is our spooky Halloween episode, and we don't have much planned for it. We got one little segment to drop in, but not a whole lot going on for Halloween and the Jammies, but a whole lot is going on in the upcoming months for the Jammies. We are going to do our year-in review. I think it's going to be such a long episode. We're probably going to break it up into 2 separate episodes, so look forward to that coming up in the last Friday of November, and then I believe the second half of that year-in review, covering kind of maybe like June or July through the end of the year. That'll actually be releasing more midway through December, so we'll be getting late November, mid-December, and then actually the Jammy Awards is going to be releasing, I believe it's going to be on January 2nd. It's going to be wrapping up all of the music that wins Jammies Awards, and hopefully having a lot planned and a lot sorted out for all of that. So look forward to the year in review. We're going to cover all the music that we've been talking about, and then the Jammies Awards to cap the entire year of 2025 in my music here. Biggest thing that the Jammies has added recently, Jammies playlists. So these are Spotify playlists that have every single recommended song that I had mentioned throughout the show. Those are going to be right in the description. Click that link. It's going to bring you right to Spotify. You don't even need a paid membership on Spotify. You can actually listen free. You're just going to shuffle through the songs. You'll have some ads, but that's that. If you're looking for anything else that the Jammies is up to, click on that Linktree link. That'll be right in the episode description. Linktree is going to have everything from social media to those playlists that we just mentioned, to the podcasts themselves, and maybe even some merch if you wanted to pick up a Jammies t-shirt. Along with that, if you've been listening to any of the recommended music from the show, if you have recommendations for the show, or if you wanted to showcase your music on the show, we've had quite a few artists already showcase within this first year of producing the podcast, and it's been a great collaboration with a few different artists there. If you wanted your music on the show, definitely reach out to me. Again, if you can click that link tree, it'll get you right to my email. Otherwise, it's thejammyshow@gmail.com. That is the Jammies is JAMMIES show SHOW@gmail.com. Do reach out if you've been listening to the podcast, if you've been listening to the music recommended, if you have recommendations, and or if you want your music showcased right here on the Jammies. Last thing to mention, episodes do have timestamps, so if you want to jump around, if you're sick of me talking about one band or one song, just jump to the next one. Or if you need to come back later, what did he have to say about some of these fancy new bands? Click on those timestamps, it'll bring you right to it. Alrighty, next up is going to be the artists to mention section of the show. This is where I discuss some different artists that I've really been digging over the last month. Usually they're brand new artists that I've never heard of before this point or have not talked about on the show. So we're going to dive right into that, and we're going to start with Who Ate All The Crayons. Who Ate All The Crayons? This is a band that I was shuffling through some songs, queuing up any artist that I didn't recognize. And when I saw this band name, man, I sent this band right to the top of my queue. And I had my fingers crossed. I really was hoping that a band called Who Ate All The Crayons was going to be a band that I could talk about on the Jammies. And let me tell you, they are more than I could have ever hoped for, and we're going to dive into why I think they're so great and some of the top-level songs to go check them out. All right, so Who Ate All The Crayons? They are a band from England. They are based out of Berkshire, England. I don't know what significance their name has or where they came up with it, but I do truly love the band name, and I will love recommending a band like this to a lot of people. They are listed as a indie folk rock band. So Who Ate All The Crayons? I'm going to compare them first and foremost to the band Rainbow Kitten Surprise. RKS is a band that we've definitely talked about on the show. They're a longtime favorite of mine. We'll actually be talking a little bit more about them later in the show. Who Ate All The Crayons? You can definitely tell the Rainbow Kitten Surprise comparison in the songs Supper and the song Crown. I also think that they have a strong Vision Arcade-like vibe. Vision Arcade, they're one of my new favorite bands this year, and they're definitely going to be showing up during the Jamies Awards, as well as the year in review here. So being compared to Vision Arcade off the bat and RKS, I mean, we're in some good company. And Who Ate All The Crayons? Funny enough, the last episode I actually talked about Maudlin Strangers, and I talked about band Modern Alibi. The way I found both those bands were actually a little tip or trick. I'm sure that a lot of people know. If you use Spotify, I believe if you use Apple Music, that type of stuff. On the bottom of artist page, they're going to have related artists. Vision Arcade's related artists were actually Maudlin Strangers and Modern Alibi. That's how I stumbled into those two bands. While they don't really sound a lot like Vision Arcade, it's funny that now I shuffled through some completely random songs from completely random bands, and I was able to find a band that I feel like more strongly resembles Vision Arcade's vibe with Who Ate All The Crayons here. Who Ate All The Crayons, I have listened to all their music front to back very many times. They have one EP out, and that EP is called Deep Blue. It came out August of 2023, so a little bit older, but front to back, these 5 songs really find some enjoyable music. So my favorite songs by Who Ate All The Crayons, top level, they have a single called Tired. They have the single called 5 Seconds. And then 3 songs off of that Deep Blue EP, Crown, Torch, and Supper. Those are going to be my top 5, and the 5 songs that are going to be included on that Jamie's playlist. Again, link in the description to be shuffling through all of the songs that are mentioned in this episode. But if you catch what I'm stepping into with the RKS vibes, and if you liked Vision Arcade earlier in the year, definitely check out Who Ate All The Crayons and be wowed by some of the singer and what they're able to do with their voice. And man, I love the drummer in some of these different songs. They have a lot of good going on, and very impressed by a band called Who Ate All The Crayons, and just really happy to be able to talk about them on the Jamies. And let's go give them some support. They're at 4.5 thousand monthly listeners on Spotify right now, and they deserve so many more. They are a fantastic band that really needs to be showcased in a lot more places. So right here on the Jamies, we're showcasing them. And hopefully, hey, maybe now that I say showcase, hopefully someday we'll be able to have their music actually on the show. That'd be great. But all that being said, that is Who Ate All The Crayons. Go check them out. Go shuffle them up in the Jamies playlist. All right, next band we got to talk about, they are called Sons of Habit. Sons of Habit, they're more great country folk music. They keep that drum beat and the tambourine going through a lot of their songs. Really makes you want to like tap your foot. Some really good singing, some great backup singing to push those vocals even further. I really have been enjoying this band. I feel like they've been a great passover from how much I was loving Sam Barber last month. Now I have a couple of great songs from Sons of Habit to recommend here. This band has a great mix of piano, harmonica, the banjo, acoustic guitar, just so many different great instruments, and them playing them so well. They have good lyrics. The lead vocalist brings a lot of emotion into the music, and right now they only have 9 songs out. I'm hoping to have a lot more to look forward to because the songs that they do have out are really top notch. I feel like my favorite songs by them, my favorite right now is the song 521. I really love the song Madeline. They actually say Madeline, so I love the backup vocals in the end of Madeline. Great song overall, but really love the backup vocals in that one. The song Writing on the Rooftop is another one of my favorites. There's songs Goldenrod and Sun Still Rose that are great too. Really just of the 9 songs that they have out, those are my top 5 at this point. So all the songs that I just mentioned, besides the song Madeline, will show up on a really great EP of theirs that came out January of 2025. This EP is called Nostalgia by Sons of Habit. Highly recommend checking that one out if you are enjoying the songs 521, Writing on the Rooftop, again, Goldenrod, Sun Still Rose. Those will all be on that EP as well. And then check out the single Madeline. I think you're going to find another great band to go alongside the Sam Barbers of the world. And that's a good thing for me. Hopefully it'll be a good thing for you as well. All right, next band to talk about, we have the Brungas, or Brungas. I still haven't figured out exactly how to pronounce this this band name, but the Brungas is Brungas. And yeah, I'm going to say Brungas this episode, but hopefully I'm not mispronouncing. A great band. And this one's actually our Aussie band to mention this episode. At least it seems like we always have an Australian band to talk about. It seems every show we're talking about an Aussie band. And the Brungas is ours this episode. And for me to compare them to anybody else besides the Terrys, who is another Aussie band that we really deep dove into not too long ago. They're a lot like the Terrys. They have maybe just a little bit of Rum Jungle vibes to them as well. That's a high compliment because Rum Jungle's up there with one of my favorite bands of all time. And the Brungas, we have a 10-song album that came out in September of 2024. This is called Brungas Forever. They also have 2 more singles from 2025. This is the song Aftertone and the song Forgive Me. This is, again, going to be a nice, fast-paced indie rock band from Australia, so the singer's got a little bit different type of voice to him. Really good stuff coming out from the Brungas, though. And my favorite songs, the song Angus, the song Forgive Me, which is actually their latest single in 2025, song Galves, and the song Heidi. Angus is probably one of the best songs I've heard all year, actually. This was, again, on their 2024 album called Brungas Forever. I love the guitar during the refrain of the song. The singer's voice just crushes the whole song. And honestly, it's one of my favorite drummer songs of the whole year. I'm going to hopefully have a section of the Jammies Awards that is my favorite drums of the year. Basically, favorite drummer moment of any song throughout the year that I've heard. And Angus is definitely going to be in there. Some hard-hitting snare that I'm really enjoying. And around the 3-minute mark, all the way to the end of the song, Angus is really where it's at. There's some nice piano. There's a great guitar solo. And again, the drums are just nasty. Heidi is another song that I like it for the same reasons. It's got a great guitar hook. They really start jamming towards the end. The bassist is also just great in that one too. So the Brungas, again, hopefully I'm saying it right. The Brungas, Angus, Forgive Me, Galves, and Heidi are going to be the top 4 songs that are all shuffled into the Jamie's playlist. And there's a lot more to enjoy and hopefully more to look out for with the Brungas soon. All right, up next is the artist, Jonny West. Jonny is Jonny West. You won't find him necessarily if you type in Jonny with an H. So Jonny West, he's actually been elevated from the Saucy Singles list, which we'll be having right after this. He's been elevated from the Saucy Singles list and up into this artist to mention section because I've ran through his music quite a few times at this point, and I'd say while it's not all for me, there is plenty more than just one song to mention. There are a lot of great songs out there by Jonny West. So let's get into my favorite songs by Jonny West and why he made the cut here. So Jonny West, he's an amazing vocalist. He's a fantastic pianist. He mixes the two fantastically, and maybe sometimes there's some drums in there every now and then, but if he just has a piano in his voice, that's really all he needs, and he's making some phenomenal stuff. So really, he's the type of artist that just makes me think, like, if I could pick one instrument and just know it, you know, like I don't need to practice, I don't need to learn it my whole life. If I could just pick one instrument and know it, I'm sure you guys have maybe had this thought before. What would it be? I feel like a lot of times maybe it's guitar for me, but Jonny West makes me feel like it's piano and there's no other answer. He just makes such beautiful music with nothing but the piano in his voice. Not saying that I have a great singing voice, but hey, it'd be cool to at least know the piano parts of things, right? My favorite songs by Jonny West, the song that would have been just the Saucy single before I stumbled into a lot more of his music that worked for me. This is my favorite song by him. It's called Be Late. And the song Be Late, I believe that was on a demo EP, maybe 2024. Other songs that I do like by Jonny West, Skip the Sad Songs, Moment, and All the Words. All actually in maybe the top 5 to 10 songs that Jonny West has out on Spotify right now. And I feel for good reason. A lot of times I like to deep dive, find those hidden gems, but a lot of Jonny West songs, for me at least, are matching the top 5 list for Spotify there. So those are going to be the 4 songs that are shuffled into the Jamie's playlist. And if you're liking those ones, he's got a whole lot more in his catalog. Some with a little bit of rapping, some with even more emotional tones to them. So a lot to check out with Jonny West if you are enjoying those 4. But for now, we're going to stick with Be Late, Skip the Sad Songs, Moment, and All the Words by Jonny West. Alrighty, next up in the show, we have our Saucy Singles for October 2025. We got a list of 3 Saucy Singles that we're going to go over, and then we'll just have a couple rapid-fire speed dating singles, as I like to call them here. The first Saucy single, we're going to be talking about the song Golden Hue by the band Superior Motive. This is the latest single from Superior Motive, and to me, it's also their greatest single. It's their best song that they've released to this point, again, at least in my opinion. This song just has so much energy, from the refrain to the drums that come in. Drums are just really strong, along with that singer's really just a pretty incredible voice that the singer's packing into the song. The refrain honestly has the same energy as a song called Sweet Nothing by Hotbed, which is a song that we mentioned earlier in the year. It's a song that might end up being showcased in the Jammies Awards as well there. We'll see if Golden Hue by Superior Motive ends up anywhere in that Jammies Awards as well. But really, again, a lot of great energy from this one when it comes up in the Jammies playlist. Hoping that you guys enjoy this one as well. Next Saucy single, we have the song Light It Up by the band My Brother Einstein. I almost talked about My Brother Einstein, but they only have about 6 songs out, and they don't have any songs released since 2020. So I feel like instead of taking up the time with artists to mention, I am just going to mention their best song in my opinion, and that is the song Light It Up. This is another great singer. The song just ebbs and flows really well. It has really high highs, and there's a nice guitar solo at the end. A lot to like with this one, and maybe even just a little bit of a Backseat Lovers vibe to this Light It Up by My Brother Einstein, so can't pass up mentioning that one to you guys. Alrighty, last Saucy single today is going to be the song Butterflies by Tommy Armour. I don't know exactly how to pronounce his last name, but it's Tommy, Armour, so Amor, something like that. This is just one of 2 songs out by Tommy Armour so far. Hopefully we will get even more great music from him. I really like the voice that he has in this music space. There's some great drums and some really wicked guitar going through. It comes in pretty strong in the middle part of the song. I feel like it ends with a nice little bit of guitar, and people are already kind of catching on to this Butterflies song by Tommy Armour. I don't really know how an artist has only 2 songs out on Spotify, but has 100,000 listens in 10 days on this newest single called Butterflies, but hey, good for Tommy, and I'm looking forward to what's next. And again, this one, either search it up or shuffle in through that Jamie's playlist and check this one out next. And that'll wrap up the Saucy singles. We have a couple rapid fire singles I want to get through. These are just ones that I'm going to mention. They're going to be shuffled into the Jamie's playlist, and we're going to start with the song Swing With Me Lily by Thomas Rowland. He's actually the lead singer of the Winya band, which we've mentioned maybe once or twice so far. This is actually his solo project, so the song Swing With Me Lily by Thomas Rowland. We have the song First Blush by Ocean Alley. Ocean Alley is actually another Aussie band. They have quite a few albums out though, and this is off of their newest album called Love Balloon. Released September 19th. I actually have not had time to listen to this one yet, but this song, First Blush, is shuffled into my release radar. It's got really good vibes. It's definitely a happy song, and it's got great vocals, great backup vocals as well. So that's First Blush by Ocean Alley. In the last 2 of these rapid fire singles, these speed dating singles as I call them, we have Never Getting Tired of You by Rec Hall. Rec Hall, this is 11 for 11 now for every song that they have ever released. It is a great one. This one came out, it's October 17th. So this episode is going to be releasing on October 31st, Friday, October 31st. Again, happy Halloween to you who are listening to it on this exact moment. And I've actually only been able to listen to these 2 new songs from Chance Pena once through, but he did release 2 brand new singles, even though he just released an album because he's a madman. He's releasing so much great music this year. These 2 are no exception, and these 2 new singles are called Make Way for the Feeling and Burned It Down. Those are, again, songs by Chance Pena. They released October 24th, and I'm sure we'll be talking a little bit more about them maybe next episode here. All right, let's get into the next topic of the show, and that is all the new EPs and new albums that we need to talk about. And we're going to start with it's a Halloween, so let's get started with the Trick or Treat. I don't know what else to call it. It's the Trick or Treat segment. It's just one-off time. Maybe we'll do it next year, but we got Trick or Treat, and the Trick or Treat is the new EP from The Moss called Free Ride. So this is one that we mentioned. It was coming up, and it released October 3rd. So we've had about a whole month now to listen through, and it feels like a trick because you listen to it, it really doesn't sound like The Moss. The Moss is a really awesome indie rock band in my top probably 15 favorite bands, really of all time at this point. And you kick up this 4-song EP, and it's like a whole new direction from The Moss with these 4 songs. At first, it's a trick, but hey, it ends up being a treat. It's a little trick and treat. And man, these songs, they really have grown on me. There's like a ton of organ in them, and I'm not sure if I've ever heard organ in a Moss song, but it works for them. The songs are just extra artsy. They're really funky. The 2 that I've really been enjoying off this 4-song EP are the songs Higher and Oasis. It's actually the last 2 songs on the EP. I'd recommend the 4-song EP front to back, but I'd also recommend a lot of other Moss music. So those recommendations would be for 2 kind of totally separate reasons. Again, they're a great indie rock band. It seems like they're trying something different. I'm definitely digging what they're trying. I just kind of hope they don't fully walk away from their old styles. I'd like a little bit of this. I'd like a little bit of the old stuff too. But Free Ride EP from The Moss, it's a trick and a treat, and I definitely recommend at least the songs Higher and Oasis, and those will be shuffled into the Jamie's playlist. All right, next album to mention. We've talked about it in the past. There's going to be a couple albums here that show up that we're just going to be bringing up again as we mentioned them in previous episodes. Maybe we just had a little bit more time with them. This is one of those cases with Blue Sky Mentality by the band Good Neighbours. This one released October 3rd. We had been talking about the single Found You/Me in the last episode, I believe. This is the band that has some great singles out, Home and that Found You/Me. But the whole album, man, it really hits. It flows really great together. There's good songs on it from front to back, and it's been an album that I've been queuing up pretty often. I've been listening to it front to back a lot, and honestly, I wasn't even expecting to like this album as much as I do, but I am happily surprised. There's nothing wrong with that. And even like some of the other singles that had been previously released that didn't necessarily hit me, when it comes to the full context of the album, it all really works together, and I do recommend kicking this one up front to back and enjoying some good, lighthearted, jammy music from Good Neighbours and their latest album, Blue Sky Mentality. Next band to talk about and next album to talk about. It's an artist that I had seen pop up on TikTok once or twice. I really try not to frequent TikTok too often. It can definitely be a time waster. It can be a something that kind of kills your motivation, kills your time. So I try to stay off of it. That's just my personal prerogative there. But what I do have to talk about and why I even clicked on this band in the first place is because of TikTok, I'll admit it. And this is the band WHATMORE, all one word, WHATMORE, in their latest album, actually their debut album called WHATMORE, self-titled WHATMORE. This released on October 17th, and again, these guys have some crazy good marketing, some incredibly high film quality from maybe if it's their couple of concerts that they've done, they have like some incredible filming done that they've used for promotional material. They also have some really just well-produced like trailers basically for this album and for their different singles that they've come out with. So I'm not sure how they've gained this big of a following because they have only released their first song on Spotify as of March 2025. So it's only been maybe 7 months since they've released their first song, and they already have hundreds of thousands of listeners, followers. And again, I think it's probably from the production quality, the promo videos, and they're making some good music as well. And this album is pretty impressive as well here to go along with their impressive prowess for video editing and producing and that nature there too. So it's a group of 5 guys. It's mostly rappers. They definitely can sing as well, but I feel like the album showcases each of their talents pretty well. There's even one guy that kind of sounds like Mac Miller to me. Listening through this album a couple times, I listened through it once, didn't know if I was going to get back to it, but I kept on queuing it up. It was something that I did want to listen to, to, and the more I listened to it, the more it tended to grow on me. And by the end of it, I got a couple favorites that'll be on the Jamie's playlist. That's going to be the song Empty and the song Put It On Hearts. A lot of good stuff on the album though, and I do like it front to back. So that's WHATMORE and their debut album, WHATMORE. All right, we're going to stick with a little bit of rap here. I really haven't dipped into rap music too much this year, but I have stumbled into, for me, a new artist. And for a couple of my friends that I mentioned to him, they didn't know him either. But somehow he has like, I don't know, maybe 7 studio albums. So I guess I was missing on this one a little bit. But the artist's name is Kota the Friend. That is Kota the Friend. And their new release on June 27th, they released the album No Rap on Sundays. Again, haven't delved too much into rap music this year, and that's why I haven't really mentioned too much rap on the Jamie's podcast, which is only a year deep. We're coming up on our 1-year anniversary, but it's good front to back. It's got some good stuff going on, and the 2 songs in particular that I strongly recommend actually start the album. It's the songs No Rap on Sundays, and it's the song Michigan with Big Sean. So those are 2 on the album No Rap on Sundays by Kota the Friend. If you have never heard of Kota the Friend, like I hadn't, and again, like a couple of my friends have not, I did listen through some of his other albums after I heard this one, because I was like, hey, new rapper, I'm always up for checking out some new stuff, and did go through some older albums. Only got to listen through them once through, but probably listened to 4, maybe 5 of Kota the Friend's albums, and there's some good stuff out there. Maybe somebody that I need some recommendations thrown my way. Hey, this guy's got so much music out there. If you know him, definitely let me know your top level. What are your favorite 5 to 10 songs? And I'll be sure to check them out. So do reach out. I'd love to hear it. All right, we got 4 more albums to mention, and they're going to be mostly returning artists as well as returning albums that we have been talking about recently. First one to mention, again, is going to be the album Dark by Eden. This one released on August 22nd. And I have mentioned in the past, I mentioned maybe to check out the songs Still and ZZZ. Still recommend listening to those songs. But I do have to bring it up because I have honestly really been loving this new Eden album. It's probably the first time that I've really been listening to this much Eden since 2020 probably. So it's great to have more Eden back in my life. And again, this album, it's got reminders of some old great music that Eden has produced in the past. So just had to shout out Dark by Eden. I actually just noticed today that he released a brand new extended, maybe deluxe album. It's called Dark, but with a couple more A's in it. So I'll be checking out I think there's 5 new songs on that deluxe edition. So if I have more to report on, then maybe we'll be talking about the album Dark by Eden even more. But for now, just need to mention again, I've really been listening to it quite often and way more times than anything I've heard from Eden in the recent 5 years here. So happy to have more Eden in my life. And if you haven't checked him out, definitely go ahead, listen to that one. All right, we got to talk about Breach by 21 Pilots. Again, this album came out September 12th of 2025, just this year. And last episode, I talked about saving something special until the exact right time and headspace, because like who knows the next time you'll get something new from a creator that you love. I brought up the fact that Hollow Knight Silk Song had come out, and I had not started playing it yet. I will report the fact that I have 25 hours now cooked into Silk Song, and man, it is so good. And just like how I've been, now it's fair game to binge Silk Song because I got maybe the time, the energy, and the headspace for it. We've been binging this album, Breach by 21 Pilots, front to back, and after listening to it just a whole bunch of times now, it's lovely, man. It's hard for me to even describe, but 21 Pilots, they always find a way to feel samey, but also completely new at the same time. Like there are parts of these songs that call back to maybe old songs and albums, but also just introduce full new sound and full new and different songs and in ways about their music that again, they just nail it again and again for me. It's hard for me to pick my favorite songs on the album because I do really love the whole damn thing. If I'm going to mention a couple songs and maybe the ones that'll end up on the Jamie's playlist, I'm thinking City Walls. I mentioned it last time, that just like it kicks off the album and it just kicks ass. It's a great one to start the album, and it hooks you in right away of like, yep, this is fantastic, and I'm ready for the rest of it. A couple other ones I'm gonna be adding in is the song Center Mass I really like, and the song Tally's got some great energy. But if you like 21 Pilots, if you haven't listened to them in a long time, if you've never listened to them, or if you're a longtime fan, definitely loving me some Breach, their latest album here in 2025. one last thing to mention with 21 Pilots. I really hope someday with the Jammies I'm able to do some exclusive episodes. One of the topic ideas I have for exclusive episodes would be to rank my favorite artists' albums and basically the songs on each album. I think 21 Pilots might be the first artist that I actually do that with. It's going to be hard as hell to rank, but I think it'd be a fun time, at least for me. So if that's something that you guys are looking for, if that's something that you guys think you'd enjoy, I'd love to take the extra time. I just got to find the extra time, and maybe someday we'll have some exclusive episodes talking about some of those favorite artists of mine and their long list of great albums. So artists like 21 Pilots, Kings of Leon, we got a lot of names to go through. Hopefully someday we can elaborate more on all that, but for now, we're going to stick with the artists that released albums recently, and we talked about this one. It's the album Bones by Rainbow Kitten Surprise. I told you we'd be talking about him again, and RKS, why not talk about this album released on September 25th? Because it's a great one. It's really grown on me, and again, just like Eden and the fact that Dark is this new album that reminds me of the good old days of Eden music, and just really shifted me back into wanting to listen to that artist. Bones by Rainbow Kitten Surprise is no different. So the song 100 Summers, it kept on coming up after I'd finished Breach actually by 21 Pilots. So, Spotify is going to shuffle up some related songs after you're done with your album listen through. And again, 100 Summers was that song that kept on being the first one in the queue. Every time I heard it, I was like, man, this is such a great song. And it got me to hop back into the album Bones and listen to it front to back a few more times. And it's a great album. It really brings me back to some older RKS. I specifically just love the first 6 or so songs on this album, and I didn't anticipate listening through it this much. I remember when the single Dang came out on this album, I was like hopeful that, this could bring me back to some RKS and bring me back into their music, and it took a little while. But happy to be here. Happy to be reporting that Bones by RKS is just a great album and one that I highly recommend if you love RKS, if you love Rainbow Kitten Surprise, or if you never really listened to them. This is just another one in their catalog of fantastic albums. So Bones by RKS, go check that one out. Last album to mention, this is the album Wither by Halfway. This one released on October 17th, so at time of recording, it's been out for about 11 days, and I've only had a chance to listen through it a couple of times. What I will say about it is it adds some good new songs, but a lot of the great songs that we've been mentioning on the show lately over the past couple of months here, all showing up on this Wither album. A couple more to enjoy, but if you've been checking out those recommendations from the show, we've mentioned a good handful of my favorites yet off the new album Wither by Halfway. All right, last segment here is going to be the new and upcoming albums. Actually, one that released 4 days ago. This one is called So Much to Tell You by Axe and the Hatchet Men. It released, for me, 4 days ago. It released on October 24th. At time of recording, it's been out for a week, and it's got a lot of good songs that have already been released by Axe and the Hatchet Men. Songs like Flagstaff and Love Songs and a whole lot more. A lot of the songs have been pre-release songs, so only a few new ones if you've been keeping up with Axe and the Hatchet Men. But if you haven't, it's going to be a good one for you to check out front to back there. And maybe we'll have a little bit more to say on it if it's different enough from all the singles that we have been talking about throughout the Jammies in this year. So Much to Tell You by Axe and the Hatchet Men. Go check that one out. And a brand new EP actually is dropping today on Halloween, same time as this recording airs. It is going to be the EP, 4-song EP by Penelope Road. It's called Chance Encounter. Chance Encounter is the latest from Penelope Road, who we mentioned not too long ago actually on the Jammies. Penelope Road is the band that has the 2 lead singers, the 2 male lead singers that both of them really pack a punch with their voices. I've been noticing lately, especially with their latest single actually, which is called Feel It Coming My Way. This is actually going to be on the Chance Encounter 4-song EP by Penelope Road. And I've been noticing that this band in particular kind of sounds like maybe Rascal Flatts, a lot of even like Keith Urban. So they have, in terms of what their singers' voices sound like, they keep a really smooth, clear, pretty voice pushing through. And then everything else behind it is just like chill, funky, good stuff going on from Penelope Road. So look forward to 4 brand new songs by Penelope Road again on their new EP called Chance Encounter, out today. And last upcoming album, one that is actually upcoming and not released a week ago or today. This is Steady Rock Dream State by Bird and Byron. This is releasing on November 14th. So Bird and Byron, a band that we've been able to mention a couple times. They're some smooth, soulful music by the two guys, Bird and Byron, and we'll be looking forward to that one on November 14th and trying to check that one out. But that is everything for the Jammies episode 12. So no song showcase today. We had a good run going, but I do want to shout out Shane. Shane reached out and recommended some new artists and albums to check out. He reached out via email at thejammyshow@gmail.com. So just wanted to thank Shane for the engagement with the show. I mean, sometimes I can feel like you're talking to nobody when you're podcasting, especially by yourself here, doing a lot of editing and posting and everything for the show. So really just wanted to give a shout out again to Shane, and I wanted to let you know the different recommendations that he made. Again, he's been saying that he's enjoyed the music so far that's been recommended, and it's led to a lot of great finds for him. So hopefully this episode will do the same for Shane, as well as these are a couple that he's recommending to the listeners of the show here as well. So I haven't had too much time to dive into these couple of recommendations here, but if you've been liking what Shane and I have been liking, then hopefully those will be even more recommendations for you. So there's a new album out by the artist Small Forward. This album's called Crush. It was released in September 2025. He also recommended the artist Runner. Runner is Runnner, so 3 N's there. Another artist recommendation, one that we had heard of before, called Brook in the Bluff. The song that I knew by them was called Bad Bad News. Really enjoy that one. That's off of a pretty good EP that they have out there. So yeah, those are the 3 recommendations. Again, Crush, the new album by Small Forward, the artist Runner, Runnner, and the artist Brook in the Bluff. Those are Shane's recommendations for the show. So thanks again, Shane, for reaching out and just let me know there's somebody out there that's really listening. So thanks again for that, man. And with all that being said, again, the next show will likely be a 2-part episode. It's going to be all about my year in review. So we're going to be going over some of the artists that we have been talking about, but I promise there'll be some new content as well and just new ways to spin through it. If you listened to the first ever episode of the Jammies, that was my 2024 year in review. I'm hoping to do something similar there that, again, I'm just going over everything that I have been digging throughout the year and really what's stuck and what's lasted all the way through the year. I'm super excited that instead of being all about the discovering of new music, I'm actually going to get to be a little retrospective this next month and go through all these amazing albums that came out, all these different bands that I have found this year, and I am super stoked to come back and give you guys a little podcast essay about all of those good things there. So I'm anticipating it being a longer show with a lot more to talk about. So that'll probably be broken up into 2 episodes. We'll have 1 episode that'll air right after Thanksgiving, I believe. And then we'll be releasing the second half of it, hopefully in the middle of December, that second Friday in December there. So after all that is done, my plan is to be releasing the Jammies Awards in first Friday in January. It's going to be January 2nd that one will release, and that'll not only wrap up the first year of the Jammies, but it'll wrap up year 2 of the Jammies Awards, the second ever one, which I'm super excited about. Hoping to have some good hidden gems in there, some good topic ideas, and just a bunch of great awards to showcase a lot of amazing music that has been put out this year. Really looking forward to all that. Again, if you guys are looking forward to what's next for the Jammies, definitely hit that follow button. It'll notify you when new episodes come out. If anything comes up in the meantime between now and the end of November here, definitely reach out to me on my socials or via email. Again, the links are in the description for my Linktree, as well as the email, thejamieshow@gmail.com. Again, thank everybody so much for checking out the episode, for sticking with it to the end if you're hearing me right now, and have a happy Halloween. Be safe out there. Have a great time. And you'll be hearing from me after Thanksgiving, so enjoy your Thanksgiving as well. Happy holidays to everybody, and we'll catch you real soon on the Jammies. And one more thing, keep on jamming.